Are there any gender differences here with regards to where the brown fat is, or how much um, men versus women say have? I'm thinking at the sort of top of my mind that myself, I've experienced this, but also I've had friends who are in relationships where at nighttime there's a bit of an argument about the room temperature, and
Yeah.
not always, but often the female wants it to be a bit warmer,
Yeah.
and I'm probably generalizing here, so I realize this is not the case for everyone, but in my experience and through talking to others, um, it seems like it's fairly common that men seem to want the room cooler, and I'm curious, is that explained potentially by the amount of brown fat that men have?
It's a very good question. It has something to do with so women actually have more brown fat than men. And this has puzzled me for a while, and I write about it I write about it in my second book. Sorry. I didn't figure it out in my first book, but women have more brown fat than men. And what I think is interesting is that, why does that make sense? Why would nature make sure that we have more brown fat as women? But if we then look at the ratio to amount of muscle mass, you would see that we know that men have more muscle mass than women. And because they have more muscle mass, they also have a higher capacity or higher ability to increase their heat from muscles. Women also have smaller hearts compared to men, meaning they have a harder time getting blood circulation and blood to the fingers and to the toes and to the ears. So if we look at studies who have measured the temperature of hands and feet and ears, we see that women have lower temperature in a peripheral temperature than men have. So we have another, you could say, a temperature regulating system, which means that we would probably need more brown fat to keep us warm, because our muscle mass is not corresponding to the men. Which means then I've looked into this because I really wanted to find out whether this is true or not, because I've heard the same stories, and I know for a fact from my own experience at home that my husband wants the temperature a little bit lower than I would prefer. Today we are like on the same level because now I'm a winter swimmer. I'm a really warm person today. And that discussion is not going on anymore, but it used to be like that. I want it on 24 degrees Celsius and he wants the room temperature at 22. And when you then look into the literature, that is exactly where we are, what we call temperature comfortable. So men are temperature comfortable at 22 degrees Celsius in a room, and women are at 24. And it's quite a difference. If we turn the heater down to 22, then the women have to use their brown fat to activate a little bit more than in men. So it could be because of environmental causes that we have more brown fat, but it's probably also because we need it, because we still need the same core temperature as men. So if you measure my core temperature, it's probably around 36.8 or 9 or something like that. And if you measure yours, it's around the same, right? So we definitely need some kind of activation for our temperature. So I think that could be an explanation. That is just my explanation. Yeah.
Did you just settle the argument, the friendly argument for everyone? Is that the Susanna Soeberg final say on room temperature? Is it 22 degrees?
22 degrees, yeah. But I mean, maybe we could meet on 23.
Okay. Yeah, that would seem reasonable.